Hey Gemini, welcome to your 2019 yearly reading. This is for Gemini Sun, Moon, and Rising. And this video is for January through June 2019. There will be another video, and I'll talk about that towards the end. So, I am using the Angel Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue, and then I'm also going to be using the magical messages from the Fairies Oracle card deck, also from Doreen Virtue. And I already dealt out the cards for the tarot, and now I'm just going to be dealing out the oracle cards, just so you're not sitting here staring at me forever. You know, you see a little bit of shuffling in this video. So I hope that you had a really great beginning of the year. I know that this video is being posted in the middle of January, and I appreciate you guys not getting on my case for taking a while. But life gets in the way sometimes, right? Okay. Please show me January for Gemini. Once I'm done shuffling everything, I'm going to angle the camera down so you can see all the cards laid out. Okay, here we go. Okay, February, please. Thank you. March. Ooh. I like what I just saw. It just flipped over when it came out. That was really wonderful to see. I'm a Gemini also, so I'm very excited to see what's in store for us this year. But it feels like it's going to be a really positive year for us in general. At least just in my opinion, as a Gemini. It's going to be a lot better than the last couple of years. April, please. Thank you. Ooh, we got 2 for April. Okay. May. June. There it is. Okay. So make sure you're really comfortable. You've got something to write some notes down. I personally like to put notes in my phone. Maybe that's a Gemini thing. But putting notes in the calendar for each month, like setting up a notification to pop up of what comes up so you know what to expect throughout the year. That's something that I like to do. And also, oh, what was I going to say? Oh, so I'm going to bring it up now instead of having to wait until the end of the video. If you want to see July through December, you can go to the link below. It's my personal website, colleenfreeze.com. Go to shop, and then you just click on your sign, and it's $6 to view the rest of the year. So I appreciate your business. It helps support me in doing what I love to do. So, okay. So I'm going to angle the camera down. I'm going to scoot this, so. Okay, cool. Let me just get this out of the way so there's no shadow. Okay, cool. So right here in the middle, we have a theme and a challenge, an overall theme and challenge for the year. And there's been a continuing theme for the last couple signs from Pisces, Aries, Taurus, and now you, Gemini. 3 cards have been coming out for the theme or the challenge. All the other readings that I've done so far have come up with 1 card for each. So this feels like a very significant time or a significant year for you guys. So let's go over the theme. The theme, we have 8 of water, 8 of cups. And in this card, the mermaid is swimming away from all of these cups, turning in a different direction. And the message at the bottom of this card here says a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual, and emotional growth. But when I saw this card, when I flipped this card over just now, I heard the word transition. So moving from one thing to another in a significant way is the theme of this year. Transition. So I feel like this is a very significant year for Gemini in making some changes that in turn will change your course or just like create a whole new phase of your life for the upcoming years, for your future. Like I almost feel like a rite of passage or just some big shifts going on. For me personally, as a Gemini, for me it's I'm pregnant right now and I'm going to be a mother by June or July, end of June, beginning of July. So I feel like that's a pretty significant shift. So things like that could be happening this year, you know, where you're going from, you know, being an adult on your own or whatever to being a mother or a parent. So big phases like that, transitions, or moving from one job to another, moving from one group of friends to discover something new, moving from one location to another, some pretty significant shifts going on. And that's the theme, and I feel like it's saying that we need to be aware of this so that it's easier for us to accept the transition and embrace it, which I don't think that is something that's really that difficult for a Gemini because we kind of thrive in change. So okay, and for the challenge, very interesting. So for the challenge we have the Lover's card, we have the 4 of water, 4 of cups, and we have the 6 of air, which is the 6 of swords. So keeping the mind balanced, keeping a balanced mind and balanced emotions is going to help us in making some major decisions. The messages that are written right on these cards here say intimate relationships, carefully weigh your decisions, good health, missing an opportunity, discontentment or boredom, open your eyes to the possibilities. 6 of air says things are looking up, the end of a difficult situation, taking a trip. So I feel like this is saying, I mean, the Lover's card is really like the main story behind all of this for the challenge. Because it's a major arcana card, it's something that's going to stick with you. It's not a passing feeling. It's something, it's like a major theme this year for you. and it's very significant, so it's something to really pay attention to. The Six of Air and Four of Water are feelings that can come and go throughout the year, but this is more of what we want to focus on here. So it's saying throughout the year there's going to be times that really challenge your clarity and challenge your ability to see the possibilities and the opportunities that are being offered to you. Clouded judgment, clouded emotions, kind of getting wrapped up in the drama of the changes that are occurring and not really seeing the forest for the trees. And the Lover's card, I feel like with this specific reading, it's more about decision making and choices more so than personal relationships, but it could also just be both. It could be, choices that affect significant relationships in your life. And also I feel like this is a time of really, when it comes to making decisions, you want to have more clarity on your belief system and what it is that you stand for, what's important to you, and what you're willing to compromise on. And, this is a year of basing your decisions on your moral beliefs, on your spiritual beliefs, on, what your heart is telling you. It's like this is a year of feeling through the decisions rather than thinking, over analyzing them. The choices that have to be made have to be felt rather than logically processed, if that makes sense, in order for you to really gauge what your moral standing is on certain situations this year. And it's saying, missing an opportunity, discontentment, or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities. So there's a chance of really getting caught in the mind or getting caught up in the emotional reaction of choices that have to be made this year, or of situations that you're placed in. But you have to check in with the heart and just step back and really look at the big picture here and choose what fills you with joy rather than what causes you more stress. This is a long-term decision making based on your heart rather than the mind, but just making sure that you are open to accepting new opportunities rather than thinking that you don't have a choice, because you do. You definitely have a choice this year. Okay, so that's the theme and challenge. So let's go into the months. So January is a month that is calling you to take a look at your finances. We have Five of Earth, Five of Pentacles. This is calling, it feels like there's a possibility of change concerning your finances or your career on the horizon. And this is a month of taking that into consideration. It says the wisdom to accept help from others. So this is, accepting help from others doesn't mean like asking for money necessarily, which it may for some of you, but this is more of like, let me get some more insight on how to approach this issue. Let me gather more information. Let me go talk to a bank and see what my options are. Let me talk to someone that is financially successful, that has that experience of, you know, dealing with the fears that can come up with money. You know, going to a mentor, seeking advice from people that actually know what they're talking about, and not just definitely don't go seeking advice from friends or family that have like no money in their bank account, that are always broke and always stressing about money, because those are not the kinds of people that you want to be gaining advice from. You want to be, you know, you need to hear the honest truth from people that understand how to make the most of their financial situation, and you know, or how to grow a business, things like that. And there's also the possibility of a change in career on the horizon here as well. 5 represents change. Earth energy, pentacle energy, represents like material, the physical realm and the material realm, and that can be anything that has to do with money, and it can also have to do with your health and your physical body as well. But for this specifically, I'm feeling like this is about money and career and employment. So there's a change in employment or in your financial situation being brought up here. I don't feel like the change is actually occurring this month, but I feel like this is like the topic of the month for you. And we have dietary change coming up as well with the oracle cards. It says, improve your diet and your life will also improve. So if you're getting caught up in the possibility of changes and you're not really sure which direction to take, I would take a look at your diet. You know, this is very cliche with, you know, January resolutions and wanting to be healthier and things like that, but I would just take a look at what you are consuming food-wise, but also like what you are consuming visually as well, and audibly. You know, what are your surroundings? Are you watching shows that are, you know, really depressing and are about like people that, you know, are trying to make ends meet, you know, or are you watching, you know, home improvement shows and like shows about like starting a new business, or, you know, things like that, anything that like kind of sparks your passion. Rather, you know, take it, you know, check inwards on how you feel after watching a certain show. Do you feel depressed and kind of like crappy after watching whatever you watched? You know, are you becoming very judgmental and critical, or are you getting excited about what you're seeing and feeling more inspired in the process? And then also, food-wise, you know, are you eating a lot of processed foods, or are you eating more whole, healthy foods? Are you drinking a lot of water? I feel like that's something that's coming up. That's probably a message for me, though, because I haven't been drinking that much water. But, you know, for someone that's listening, they may need to know that as well. You know, just taking a look at that, because that does affect your mental, you know, health and your ability to gain clarity. Like if you're eating lots of crappy food, you're going to have like a cloudy mind. And it's going to make it more difficult to really decide on how you want things to shift here. Instead of just letting it happen for you, you can make it work for you instead of allowing it to happen to you. Okay, so February. Business venture. This is great. Oh my gosh. This is so exciting. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I feel like everything's coming together in February. That's what just came up in my mind. That's wonderful. So, okay. So there's a possibility of career change, of a financial shift, and it's kind of like all up in the air, and you're feeling it. You know it's coming, and it feels like major shifts occurs in February that leads to the possibility of a career change. So you could be changing jobs in February, or there's also the possibility of marriage as well coming up in February, or making a commitment on something that you've been contemplating for quite some time is coming together in February. So we have Unity, which is a major arcana card. So this feels like a very significant month. Major arcana means major event. So Unity in this deck is the Hierophant in the traditional tarot. And the Hierophant is about it is about clarity, or a connection to the spiritual self on a deeper level. It's a gateway to understanding your belief system a little bit more deeply. And it's a card that signifies commitments as well. This card specifically is saying traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations, seek out mentors, and like-minded friends. So this is a month that it's really important for you to be surrounding yourself with supportive people, people that have the experience in what it is that you're trying to do, in order to bring yourself to a more successful level in your life, whatever that may mean for you. And we have business venture for the Oracle card that came up. Trust and follow on a new business idea or career opportunity. So whatever you've been feeling like you need to make a change on is saying that it's coming together in your favor in February. And in this card we've got lots of gnomes or dwarves. Like, I'm picturing like Snow White, you know, they're in the mine digging for diamonds in that movie, but they are just scooping up piles of gold here. And that is a very big message for you, that if you allow yourself to go down this path, it's going to lead to some serious abundance. Excuse me. And I feel like you will know that you're making the right decision, because this is a month that really aligns you, or calls you to align yourself more spiritually. This is a month of connecting to the spiritual self, and that's part of the challenge of the Lovers card, balancing the energy of the material and the spiritual, and staying in alignment in order to make decisions that are right for you. And that doesn't necessarily mean that's right. It's right for everyone. This is about you specifically. So, like, spiritually and on a soul level, does this feel right for you? And this is a month of connecting to the soul on a deeper level, connecting to the heart. February, Valentine's Day, all that stuff. So it feels like connecting spiritually is leading to significant abundance in February. March. Woohoo! So, before I get into this, let me just say that 2019 in general, in numerology, when it's reduced, it's the 3 and it's the 12. So, it can be the 12 or the 3, and the 12 is the energy of the Hanged Man, which is what we have here. So the energy of the 12 calls for pauses and patience for the purpose of slowing down and taking a look at your surroundings and seeing if it still reflects your intentions, your soul-based intentions and decisions. It's like, and I'm sorry. So the 3, the numerology of the 3 is about creation and manifestation and self-expression. So in order to manifest fully, you have to be creating an environment that supports that vibration. So it's like you're preparing your nest for, it's like what pregnant people do with nesting. It's like you're preparing the home for what's coming, and you have that knowing that it's on its way, and you're just doing what you have to do to set up the space to, welcome that new energy into your life. So with the 12 energy, I feel like that's when it's really calling you to look at your surroundings and see, are you nesting? Are you setting up your environment to reflect your intentions? And then when you're in the 3 energy, it's more of like action, doing things personally, like bringing things into action that you can do on your own to make those things happen. So March it feels like it's the slowing down time for you. It feels like it's calling in patience. And it says, let me show you the card. It says, look at things from a different perspective, a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. So it's really calling you to to continue to check in that everything in your life is a reflection of your true self, of your authenticity. And I feel like in doing that, you will gain more clarity and more inspiration on how to approach things. It does say here with the Oracle card, debt paid off, which this was the card that I saw earlier, and I was like, ooh, I'm really excited about that. The old weight and habit of debt is lifted from you in your life. So this could be financial debt, certainly. You're starting to see, that burden's, trickling away, or it's cleared away by this month, or you're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel here. Or I feel like this is more of like, because you are in the process of allowing your surroundings to reflect your true intentions, you're seeing that you don't owe anyone anything. Which makes it easier for you to make decisions that are more authentic to your needs. So this could be a month of moving on as well. Or it could be coming up soon. You're preparing yourself for the moving on. You're understanding that you don't have to hold on to guilt or feelings like you owe favors to people when they most likely don't even know that you feel that way. This is a month of releasing all of that so that you can just focus on the present moment and what needs to be done to attract what it is that you actually want in your life. Because I feel like this feeling like you owe things to people or things or situations or jobs is really holding you back, and it's taking up a lot of energy. April. Okay. April, another significant month. So it feels like February, March, April are all very significant months for Gemini. They're all major arcana cards. This one specifically, I feel like the time between March and April is when this moving on energy really comes in. Another thing to really keep in mind is that this is when retrograde season starts to come back. We have Mercury retrograde March 5th to the 28th. So that's another reason why we need to slow down and really take a look at our surroundings here. And being more aware of, our environment as far as communication goes as well. So then for April, we have a couple planets going retrograde, one towards the beginning of the month, two towards the end of the month. So Jupiter goes retrograde April 10th, and then Pluto goes retrograde on the 24th, and Saturn on the Saturn on the 30th. So this feels like this is when you let go and you move on, and it's a very transformative month. Not only because of all of the retrograde seasonal energies coming in and calling us to really transform in a like seeing the possibilities, feeling expansive, seeing the possibilities, and embracing that and allowing that to help us transition and transform in a way that benefits us long term. This is the Fool card in the traditional tarot. In this stack specifically, it's the Dreamer. It says, a leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. So this is when you have to say yes. Feeling like yes is really important. Saying yes to what fills your heart with joy. It feels like it's going to feel like a risk, but it's something that needs to occur. It wouldn't be offered to you if it wasn't, something that would benefit you in the long run. If you're feeling some sort of uncertainty in stepping through in this transition and transformation, it's calling you to really stay grounded this month. Connect with nature. You're rejuvenated and inspired by spending time outdoors. Going outside, going in nature, doing what you need to do to get yourself grounded and, feeling fully in your body so that when you make this transition, it's not in a place of fear. It's more of like a connecting to the whole, and it will feel right when you're doing that transition. We also have the Sun card. It says your son is watched over and protected as he explores his world. But I feel like this is more of like we're getting into a masculine energy this month, which can represent more of the logical aspects of the self, and so it may be calling you to, take a look at things logically and, decide if this is the right thing for you. But before you start getting into this energy, you need to be grounded and connecting with your entire self, and not just up in your head, because that's something that Gemini can do very easily, especially after experiencing that Mercury retrograde energy. This is like, get yourself grounded, because there's some major transformations here that you need to dominate, basically. Take advantage of the opportunities that are coming your way in April. Okay, yeah. This is awesome. And it's interesting because this card has come up for a few signs for May specifically. So this is definitely a lot of the signs this year are moving in different directions. So it's not just you guys, it's pretty much everybody. It feels like that's the energy of this year. We are preparing ourselves for this new phase of our lives, and it's testing us to be willing to really embrace the change and allow ourselves to pass through this portal, which is what you're doing in April. You're passing through the portal, you're passing through the gateway, stepping through a door that leads to a new direction. So we have renewal here. And other major arcana card. This is a very significant time for you guys. Wow. This is the Judgment card in the traditional tarot. It says, review and evaluate a favorable assessment of the facts. Time to move in a new direction. So this is really a time to, it's like a life review kind of month, where you're looking at how far you've come, and it helps you to see, like, you see how far you've come without knowing what was ahead, which makes you feel more confident in the possibilities that lie before you. And it says, easy does it. Stop trying so hard to control everything, and all the doors will open for you. And that's exactly what I was just talking about. You really want to take a look at your whole life and see your progress and how far you've come along, all the lessons and experiences that you've had and learned. And, you didn't know what was going to occur in the future, but you went with it. You trusted in those moments that you needed to trust, and you just went for it, and it brought you to a new amazing place. And that's what's occurring now. And that should give you the faith to trust in the possibility of your future. And that's what this is calling you to do. Let go of the control of trying to figure out everything now, or trying to figure out, everything that's going to happen. Go with the flow. Just let it be. Just ride this wave, because you're going in a new direction, and, things are settling in for you, for your benefit. So I feel like, after seeing this card, it feels like this is an energetic embracement of allowing yourself to step through to something new. It's like you're energetically saying yes to a transition, and then you're reviewing your options for this transition, and it feels like this month you're actually doing it, or somewhere in between April and June, you're just in this process of transition. Like, you're doing it. And it feels like it's almost fully completed by June. We have the 10 of Air, 10 of Swords, indicating the end to a difficult situation. Embrace the change. Expect things to get better now. Recovering from an addiction. So I feel like this is mental clarity really coming in here, where you're starting to understand more clearly where you're going, because things have been, coming together. Like, I'm seeing puzzle pieces being placed together, and so you're able to start seeing the images in the puzzle and seeing, like, and understanding, like, oh, okay, so this is a puzzle about blah blah blah. That's what's going on this month. This is a month of clarity, definitely. And it says perfect timing. This is the right time for you to move forward. I mean, I can't make this stuff up. You saw me shuffling and pulling everything out. And, the theme here is moving on. And everything is calling you to this new transition that is really beneficial to you on so many levels. We have the Fool, which is the first card on a new journey. And the last card, because it's the 0. So it could be the ending and it can be the beginning. We have Renewal, that literally says time to move in a new direction. And then we have this card that's saying, this is the right time for you to move forward. I can't make this up. Desire to move on. It says it right here. Desire to move on. So it's a year of letting go. It's a year of letting go and allowing yourself to walk through this door of opportunity, because some great things are coming. And oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see where this takes you. Gemini, oh my goodness. This is going to be a great year. I could feel it in my bones over the last couple days, because things have just been coming together this month, and I'm like, this year is going to be freaking great. So it's really great to see that it's reflecting what I've been feeling. So let me know how this resonates with you and how your year is going. Leave me some comments. Let me know if you like this format for the yearly readings. And if you would like to see where July through December brings us, go to my website, which is right below, ColleenFaris.com. You can go to my shop and then click on Gemini, and it's $6. So I appreciate your business. I appreciate you watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I hope you have a fabulous year. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.